Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let's get right into it with a Teen Mom OG episode 9 recap. So first of all, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel because we're going to be talking a whole lot about these girls and other reality TV stars as well, and I don't want you to miss anything. The last episode of Teen Mom OG started off with Farrah and her mom Deborah in her home office discussing her latest venture, which is a frozen yogurt shop that she's opening up really soon, and she was talking about how she wanted to interview staff and all those sorts of things to fill up her new place. I found it really funny that she had like that poster from her backdoor porno up in her home office for something that like was so traumatic to her, brought her so much shame, and she only capitalized off of it because she had to. It's really funny that that was one of the biggest posters in her office. I mean, sure, Jan, sure, that was an accidental leak. James Dean was your boyfriend. And I said that in my Barbara voice, if you didn't notice. James Dean was your boyfriend. Farrah might be kind of kooky and wonky and crazy and really bitchy, but I am sincerely happy for her with all the ventures that she's going on, and I really do hope she succeeds in them. Next up, we get to see Ryan over in the house that Jen and Larry were talking about him being in, which is one that was owned by Jen's parents. And one of the Teen Mom producers, Jala, went over there to talk to him, ask him what happened, his abrupt departure from his parents' home, all that kind of stuff. And Ryan is just really monotone. His eyes are starting to look a little weird and glassy, or just dazed, like, you know, the 1,000-mile stare that we make fun of David for having. He had that, as he pretty much told her that they had a big fight. His dad's a dick. I don't even know that I would have considered him angry in that scene. He just seemed genuinely hurt and heartbroken, especially that little stare he gave at the end when he was talking about how he probably would never speak to his dad again. I really felt for him on that front, you guys. I really felt for him there. He looked genuinely like sad and alone. And then the camera pans back to Macy and her friend talking, and she eventually just says that Ryan had texted her about moving out of the parents' house and that Bentley is not to be sent over there. And Macy pretty much told him to like freaking kick rocks because she was not gonna have Bentley be in the middle of his petty ass fight with his parents. And I was like, yes, Macy, you better drag him by his edges, girl, because she is right. She's not gonna put Bentley in the middle of Ryan's petty drama with his parents, because we all know that Ryan's the immature one. He's the one in the wrong, so your son is not gonna suffer for it. I really love the relationship that Macy has with Ryan's parents. Did any of you guys get a little bit thrown off by Amber's segment? I mean, this whole entire season, I thought that she looked absolutely beautiful. She was at the perfect weight for her frame. She doesn't seem like the girl who could be like, you know, like a 2 or a 4. She just seems like she was perfect for her build and her face and stuff like that. But then all of a sudden, when she starts talking in this scene, she talks about how much weight she had gained. I don't know what happened, because all these episodes, I never thought she gained weight or anything. But for some reason, yeah, in this episode, she did look a lot bigger. So I was wondering what happened between episode 9 and episodes 1 through 8 that like she all of a sudden blew up. And I'm not saying blew up in a bad way. I'm just saying, why all of a sudden does she look bigger now that she's talking about it? Because she always looked so good to me. It was just a total mindfuck. And then at some point she talks about how she really was worried about opening up about getting surgery and stuff like that because she was scared it would make her no longer like a role model to people. I was like, Amber, you know what? Being a role model is literally like the last thing you have to worry about. The way that you, first of all, parent your daughter. Remember that time she met a man in the Walmart parking lot? He was an ex-con. She moved him into her house almost immediately, like she did with Matt, and she had him changing Leah's diapers and stuff. Remember the way she would beat Gary in front of Leah? She almost made him deaf, almost pushed him down the stairs, kicked him down the stairs. She would like grab him by the neck and choke him, and she's worried about like a weight loss surgery making her ineligible to be a role model. Amber, you were literally never a role model to anybody. So don't worry about that. Like, if you want to do your weight loss surgery, do it because it's something you want to do. Don't worry about us. We're not looking up to you for shit. Next, we moved into Tyler having a lunch date with his mother, and Tyler could not even contain his excitement to trash his wife to his mom. Like, she barely sat down, put her little purse down when he was like, oh my God, Mom, Caitlin's driving me wild. Oh, goodness gracious, let's talk about her. So literally he's telling her how frustrated he is with how Caitlin's not trying to get out of her depression, not trying to pick herself up, not trying to put herself back together or anything like that, and how difficult it is to be supportive of her when she's literally not even supportive of herself. And like I said in my last video, if I were Tyler, I would be saying the same damn thing. I totally get where you're coming from on this, Tyler. I feel you. I am team you on this. Do I feel like you do enough to help motivate Caitlyn? No, not really. But at the same time, is Caitlyn a grown-ass woman? Yeah, she is. And so, you know what, I'm not even gonna get too deep into that conversation because it's just so controversial and it just brings up so many emotions for people. And then the annoying part is that Tyler's mom just harps on Caitlyn too, and she's like, well, yeah, what's Caitlyn ever done to improve herself, to, you know, get further at anything in life? And it's like, well, what about your son? Like, where's that book he's talking about writing, but we've never seen him like work on or anything like that? She never acknowledges his faults, and she never tells him, like, you know what, Tyler, you sit around all day as well. You don't seem to be doing much of anything. You're not in school, you're not working at anything, so why don't you start going to school? Maybe she'll see that you're always gone and it will motivate her. It'll pick her up. The two of you will not be like soaking at the bottom of like a fungus pond together. Maybe she said that he doesn't take her out that much. You know, Tyler, why don't you take her on a date? There's something. Start taking her on weekly dates. Stuff like that would be really, really nice for him and her. And I'm just so disappointed that his mom never suggest things that Tyler could do to better himself as a husband or even as an individual. If you've been on my channel before, then you saw that video I did last week where I was talking about the scene that we saw this week. I was recapping a preview and it aired this week. Go over there, watch it to get my full take on this next scene, which happened where Jen and Larry discussed kicking Ryan out. Jen walks away crying. My thoughts pretty much still stand in that, you know what, Jen, you can cry all you want, but you helped to create this mess. So grow a backbone when it comes to your child and help him to improve his life. Coddling him is not doing anything for him. He's pushing 30 with no accomplishments in life, and that's where coddling has gotten him so far. So try a little bit of tough love, and it's nice to see that Larry wants to go that route. He's been supportive of Jen being soft with the Ryan all this time, but now he's like, you know what? There is something seriously wrong here, and it's time to be tougher with him. Get him the fuck out of my house. For my full thoughts on that, go watch the other video that I did last week. Then we go back to Farrah's yogurt shop where she is interviewing new people and her mom is kind of like casually just creeping in the background. The both of them are wearing these crazy swirly hypnotic glasses. The people that they're interviewing have to wear them as well. It's really weird to me that she wants to have them serve customers with those freaky glasses on, but whatever, it's her shop, not mine. But you know what, I am so excited for Farrah on this new venture. It's such a good look for teen mom. But at the same time, when she was speaking to people, her stupid just came right out. First of all, she just suggested that like a person could work 40 hours in 3 days. Have you heard of labor laws? And you know what? Ignoring legalities seemed to be a running theme throughout her job interviews. It's like Farrah went on illegaljobinterviewquestions.com and just was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna ask that. Definitely needs to ask that. Oh, that's not leaving unanswered, and ask them like the stupidest questions she could possibly ask. Like, for example, she asked this one girl, do you live with your parents? How old are you? Do you have any kids? So now it's Father's Day and Macy is complaining to Taylor that Ryan hasn't reached out to them or Bentley the whole entire day to discuss plans or anything like that. It was really sad to see that Ryan hadn't reached out to them all day, and I think they kind of alluded to him being some kind of substance abuser when they were like, he probably doesn't even know what day it is. But at the same time, I have to ask you guys this. Do you wonder why Taylor agrees with Macy and all these things and just sits there and just says, yeah, he's a shitty father, blah, 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 when, if I can recall correctly, Taylor doesn't attend Bentley's games either. And it's like, Taylor's not in school. Taylor doesn't work a traditional job that I know of. Maybe he does. If he does, let me know in the comments. And Macy runs his t-shirt company for him. So why wouldn't he be attending Bentley's games either? You know what I mean? I was like, Taylor, let's back up a little bit here. What are you doing that you're not attending Bentley's game? Like, Macy went all the way up until the day before she gave birth and Taylor wasn't there. So I found that peculiar. And then Matt gets his big break in that he gets a whole scene dedicated to him and his shortcomings as a father. And you could just tell he was so excited. He waited his whole life for that. So in talking to his friend or cousin or whatever the hell that guy was, he was like talking about how he loves having Leah around. And again, I'm wondering, why do you like having Leah around but not your 9 other children, or your 9 legitimate children, I should say? He complains about all the women going forward to the press about him being a deadbeat, like fathering kids and running and stuff like that. And he's like, everybody just wants to get paid. This man who is unemployed and mooching off a woman half his age is criticizing women who are raising the children that he walked out on. He's claiming that they want to get paid. I mean, Matt, like, of course they want to get paid. You owe them child support. So yeah, fork it over, big boy. And then he challenges the Teen Mom audience to find one bad thing he's done in the past 5 years, like continuing to ignore child support or your children is not bad. It gets even stupider in that Matt equates having 9 children by multiple women spread out around the world that he doesn't see, pay child support to, or like raise or have anything to do with. He compares that to getting laid 9 times. He's like, everyone's criticizing me like they haven't been laid 9 times. It's like, you really cannot make that level of stupid up. There are so many things wrong with that statement. The jokes write themselves. You're literally stupid as fuck. And then at the end he goes, you know what? I won in the end. What did you win besides a sugar mama who is battling depression on her own that you're able to manipulate? And you know what? Even if you did quote unquote win, where are your children? They're the real losers here, Matt, because they have a fuckboy for a father. And that was just pathetic. MTV, the fact that you're giving this creep his own scenes is just... no, stop doing that. I'm just fast forwarding a few irrelevant scenes here to get to the part where Bentley and Jen head over to Ryan's house after Bentley's baseball game. Ryan was just so out of his mind that he couldn't even see it. He couldn't even interact with Bentley. That was a terrifying scene to me. His eyes, you guys, his eyes in that scene. And I don't even mean to be offensive or anything, but you know, like some people who are like, I don't know, like, you know, like when a person is blind and they take off their glasses, sometimes it's like just, you know, this is because you can't see anything here. Like your eyes are in your head, but they're not connecting up here for you to perceive things. That's the way Ryan looked to me. Like he was just like this. You know, it was almost like, whoa, it was bizarre. As soon as they opened the door, he kind of like, you know, adjusted himself in his seat. He was like, hey, Bentley, how was your game? Oh, Bentley, your hair's really growing out there. And he didn't have natural movements. It was just so robotic, and like his eyes were popping out of his head. He obviously didn't even know what to say to his own son. Like, it's Father's Day, your son was just dropped off to you for a little bit and you're just gonna like criticize his hair the whole entire time with their eyes bugging out of your head. It was a really heartbreaking scene for me because no one knows what's going on with Ryan, but you can definitely tell there's something very serious. And then in the last scene, which was kind of pretty dramatic, Kate and Tyler are sitting in their house as usual. Neither of them have anything to do, anywhere to go. I don't know where the hell the child was in this scene. By the way, Nova is one of the cutest babies in that franchise. She reminds me of the little girl from A Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Like, you know, the cartoon version. That's what she looks like to me. She's so stinking cute. So Kate and Tyler are sitting in their house, nothing to do, and Kate's just like complaining that she's bored. And Tyler's like, you know what? I freaking had it with this, Caitlin. If you don't like try to better yourself, try to improve, try to just do something, I'm gonna shut off. I'm gonna go hard, and I don't even know if this will survive. And Caitlin like really woke up to that. But here's the issue that I had with Caitlin is that I feel like it's manipulative to always cry when someone confronts you about the way you're dragging down your relationship. Like, just listen and take in what your partner is saying. It's to me, it's manipulative to just cry and play the victim because you're not taking into account their feelings. Do you know what I mean? You're not being like, yeah, you know what? I could see why you're frustrated by me sitting around all day, every day, complaining about being bored, like I don't have every opportunity in the world to do something, anything, or like I don't have an outpatient therapy program to be attending to. You know what I mean? Because after she left rehab, she had steps to make sure she continued on her journey to upliftment, but it doesn't seem like she's done any of that. And by crying and just being like, oh my God, I'm ruining everything, my mental illness ruins everything, it's like, you're really absolving yourself of any responsibility in the way that you are making your partner feel, and that's unfair. And you know what? To the people who said that it was really, really rude of Tyler to tell her something like that, it was really obvious in the way that he was treating her anyway, that he was frustrated, that he might as well have just told her. But that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm an asshole like Tyler as well, but that's just how I feel. I totally sympathize with him on this front, and I do sympathize with Caitlin as well. Another big thing that I'm curious about, maybe you guys can educate me, is I don't know whether or not Caitlyn is the depressed that we all get, where sometimes you just fall into a funk and it's really, really difficult to get out of it, or if she's clinically depressed, which is where it's a biological problem to where there's literally nothing she can do outside of medicating and trying, you know what I mean? I don't know which kind of depression she has. So if you know which one it is, let us know in the comment section down below, and maybe that'll help to shed a lot more light on her, what she's going through, because it's tough. It's tough for both people, and I could really sympathize with them both. But at the same time, I feel like, Tyler, do something with your own life. You know what I mean? Like, stop hiding behind Caitlyn all the time. Maybe Tyler's depressed too, you guys, because him complaining about Caitlyn is so often and so frequent that you forget to say, you know what, Tyler, let's look at you. What have you accomplished in these 7 years that you promised to accomplish for your daughter? Nothing. So that's just how I feel about the whole entire situation. And there you have it, an episode recap. Let me know what you guys thought about the whole entire episode in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe for more, and share it with your friends as well. And I'll see you in the next video. So thank you so much for watching.